the do everything rifle. Is it even possible to have a do everything rifle? I guess if you have budgetary constraints, financial constraints, whatever you want to call it, you can probably come up with a rifle that can do just about everything. You could probably set up some sort of low variable power optic with a good light and a laser. I used to have a light and laser on this. This has got a folding stock. It's got a good trigger, and I can hit accurately and consistently human-sized targets out to 500. The only problem is when I'm trying to reach that far with this 1-8 is PID. So that would be one of the limitations of this rifle. It's fast, it's accurate, it's heavy, but I do have more ability to positively ID targets at distance with this than I would with my 14.5 that has a non-magnified EOTech on it, but it's got lights and lasers, backup irons, EOTech, same trigger, ALG combat trigger, and dual switch with a D-ball A3 laser and a Surefire light. So this is accurate out to 300. I have pretty good eyesight. I can at least identify what a human is at 300, even if I can't positively ID who that threat is. So there are some limitations there. This rifle is good out to 300 and is what I would say. I can definitely push it further, but in terms of PID, that's about my comfort level, is right there in that 300-yard range. Moving from my carbine, we've got my SPR. So is this the best of both worlds? No. All it has for backups is irons, so I'll have to remove the optic to actually use this rifle without the Leopold Mark V HD on here. However, this 3.6 to 18 does give me increased PID, and all the way out, I would say comfortably 500 to 700. And I know this rifle can make accurate hits that far. This is a half MOA rifle and has consistently performed that way with 69 grain match ammunition at 100 yards. So if I need to reach out and go to that 700-yard distance, this is going to be what I would be most comfortable with. All three of these rifles are chambered and can accept 223 and 5.56 ammunition. They're all zeroed on 77 grain ammunition now. So I can change out ammunition and magazines between all three of them. They're zeroed on the same ammunition. This one has got the best PID at distance. It's got a really nice LaRue trigger, the MBT. It's extremely soft shooting. It's very, very, very accurate. And I have a light to complement this Leopold Mark V HD. I've got a mod light OKW on here, which has got a really tight beam. I think it's somewhere in the high 60,000 candela. So super tight beam on this rifle so that I can actually PID in darkness under white light and make a positive identification with a good optic. And speaking of lights, the reason there is an owl on this, and I actually moved the owl from the carbine, is again PID. So high candela light with high output. I know 150 yards I can throw white light to improve PID in low light or no light situations, and I know that this optic can handle it. So like I said, 500 is going to be my max on this one. I I can make out a target, but I can't PID it as well if I had to discern between two targets. So if I had to say, yeah, you can have an all-around, do anything, do everything rifle, I would take a low variable power optic with, in this case, my backup sighting system is a can't mount red dot. It's a Holosun 507 on an RECCE mount. I would move my laser over from my carbine over to this and get another mod light, because this does not work well in conjunction with that laser in terms of positioning on this modular rail from Geisley. So if it was a pick rail, I think I could get away with it and just side mount my laser. But a good high candela light and a laser could easily be adapted to this rifle, and I would have what you would consider budget or financial constraint a do anything rifle. It's got a B5 stock, Law-Tac folder, ambi charging handle, great trigger, Reptilia grip, enhanced magwell from HRF, flatline Fiberco sling. It's padded. Scalar works 193 mount with this Trigicon 1-8 AccuPower. It's got a BE Myers 3-prong on it, or yeah, excuse me, 4-prong on it, and the Geisley rail and a ROSCO barrel. This thing shoots and groups super tight, and I've got a Geisley ambidextrous safety on here as well. So if you have a financial or budgetary constraint and you want something that can do anything, get you a 1-6, a 1-8, a 1-10, low variable power optic, an offset red dot, or offset irons if you want to save a little bit of money, a good laser, D-ball, maul. If you can get full power PEC, and get yourself a good light, a high candela light, a cloud defensive rain, owl, or a mod light, something that you can use in conjunction with your low variable power optic to positively identify targets out to distance. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, post them in the comments on YouTube. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'd be happy to answer. If you have any questions about either of these 3 rifles or why I set them up the way that I did, I will happily answer your questions, and I'll make another video. Appreciate it, guys.